Excellent. As you know, this is the District A Town Hall represented. District A is represented by Councilmember Monica Riley. Let's give it up for Councilmember Monica Riley and all that she does. She is absolutely amazing. We're going to keep this same energy up for the duration of the meeting. So thank you, thank you, thank you. We're going to open the meeting with a prayer by Pastor Dr. Robert Childress from Covenant Glen Church. Let me introduce you now. Let me introduce you. Okay. Dr. Robert Childress was called to pastor 36 years ago. And in 1990, after only 3 years as an ordained pastor with his wife Doris by his side, he was then appointed by the United Methodist Texas Conference to lead and pastor Covenant Glen United Methodist Church. He was the youngest pastor ever appointed to lead the congregation at the Covenant Glen Church. Pastor Childress was a catalyst for some of the economic growth here in Missouri City in the 2000s, including being the driving force with the Fort Bend Greater Economic Cooperation to build the Glen Park subdivision. In 2003, the Glen Park subdivision with 113 single-family homes located off 5th Street in District A was built. Pastor Childress has been the spiritual leader for Councilwoman Monica Riley for the last 18 years and will now share his remarks and open this 2023 District A Community Town Hall with prayer. Please welcome Dr. Robert Childress.
She said the youngest. That was about 30-some years ago. Now let's fast forward 30 years later. I don't have no hair. I have a stomach. And I'm now not a grandfather, but both kids are now in college. Time catches up with all of us, trust me. Amen. That's why we're passing the torch now. We're passing the torch to a new vision of leadership. And that's what vision is, a precious piece of the plan of God. And God gives everyone a piece. And we all don't have the same piece. We don't have the same assignment, but it comes from the same source. And so we on the same team, being coached by the same person. We're heading in the same direction. And so we're unified. And I'm delighted to have a servant leader with a lot of energy and with vision, who I believe is handling the piece of the plan that God gave her with integrity, but also with hard work. Amen? So let's give it up for Councilwoman. And you are effective, and we thank God for you. Before we do the prayer, she told me to have some remarks, so that's why I'm not just doing the prayer. I'll lean on all the pastors here. We don't do this by ourselves. No church is greater than another. The pastors come together, we pray together, and we're taking care of our community, doing the very best we can. So if there are any other pastors and ministers in the house, just stand if you will. Amen. And we want to thank them for the hard work and the assignment that God has placed on their life. Thank you, pastors. Thank you so much. District A, I'm just excited. We were in this community for 30 years. Now we're being blessed to go into another area of this region of our city to duplicate what God is doing, what he did through us and through the fine people of this community, all the political officials, all the community stakeholders. We don't do this alone. We do it because we have people to come alongside us, such as yourselves. And I want to say that Missouri City area, there's no greater area in terms of political and community involvement than the city of Missouri City. Just look around this room tonight. Politicians are here, officials are here, employees are here, and that says a lot about Missouri City. We do this together. Give yourselves a hand as well, and thank you for your leadership. Let's go to God in prayer. God, we thank you so much for what you have done, what you are doing, and what you shall continue to do, for you are sovereign. God, you sit high, you look low, but yet you're immanent. You're here with us. You dwell with us, and you are among us. And God, we thank you so much for the city of Missouri City. We thank you for District A. We thank you to God for the work, the gifts, and the graces of your servant leader that you appointed for such a time as this, dear God, Monica. We thank you for what you're doing in her and through her. And we pray that you would continue to provide insight and vision and strength and energy to do the work that you have called her to do and that you've called all of us to do as we bring all these pieces together that you have given us. God, we pray that we can keep the vision clean. We can keep it pure and undefiled. Keep it high, dear God, so that the community can see it. Generations that are coming, they can see it. Take up the torch, dear God, and do what you have called all of us to do as we all seek to make this world, in particular this community, a better place. Bless us tonight, dear God. We pray that your spirit will just shine upon us and be with us. In Jesus' name, we ask this. Let all the people of God say together, amen. God bless you.
Thank you, Doctor. That was amazing. Appreciate that. I'm going to go ahead and introduce our councilwoman. Monica Riley is known as, what is she known as? What's her nickname? Mountain Moving Monica. She is known for her zealous efforts to champion against the odds. She has the tenacity, integrity, and unwavering ability to accomplish good business development and economic growth for the city of Missouri City, be effective and creative, and create visible change in the community. She markets a message of love and unity for the entire city. She listens to the concerns of the residents and families and responds with strong yet positive focus to bring resolutions. As a true servant leader, she takes the necessary action for what is right and what is best for we the people. Councilmember Monica has always been a dependable and well-respected voice. Raised in the District A area and a homeowner for more than 20 years in that district, Councilmember Monica knows the needs of this community. She has advocated for Missouri City communities for more than 2 decades. She is a former HOA board member and participant in the Block Grant Beautification Project for Grand Park/Texas Parkway. Councilmember Monica has worked with 22 community organizations and institutions across Fort Bend County. She brings a unique understanding of and perspective on how Missouri City operates from the inside out. Y'all like, wow, I didn't know. You know now. Councilmember Monica Riley is a believer in God and a professing Christian. She is a proud wife and mother of 7 children, all who were raised in District A. Over the years, she has mentored more than 600 Missouri City students. She is also a local business owner in mass media marketing and political consulting, a radio station general manager, a radio personality, and a public figure in the community among celebrities. Councilmember Monica was elected as the City Council District A member on December 11, 2021, and was sworn into office on December 20th, 2021. Let's move some mountains with this applause for District A Councilmember, Councilwoman Monica Riley. Nope. She can't come up to that. Let's move some mountains with this applause for Councilmember Monica Riley. Woo!
Ooh, the day has come that I gotta tell y'all why y'all voted for me. But before I do, I want to give high praise and thanks and honor to God. I want to thank my pastor who changed his schedule to be here today, who has been standing with me and supporting me and praying for me for 18 years. And I want to say thank you to Ramona Smith for officiating, coordinating, and putting up with everything to make sure this event took place and is well served by you and for you. So please give a round of applause to Ramona Smith. Ramona is new to Missouri City, but she jumped right in and has gotten to work. I want to acknowledge all of our elected officials because I know that you guys rearranged your schedules to be here with me tonight and with your residents. And so there's no particular order, but when I ask you, when I say your name, please stand and you guys recognize because they serve you on a very wide scale and they try to attend meetings, but they made it a point to be here tonight for a little old District A meeting. I want to say thank you and stand to your feet, State Representative Ron Reynolds of District 27, the district that we're in. Thank you. He drove all the way from Austin to be here tonight, so that's true dedication, and I appreciate you. Sitting next to him is our Fort Bend County District Clerk, Miss Beverly Walker. And then we move over here to this side. We have sitting on the front row, the newly elected Mr. Judge Chad Bridges. And I definitely want to acknowledge the former woman who preceded me, the Honorable Dr. Cheryl Sterling, former District A Councilwoman. We have over to the side, the lovely woman standing against the wall, the Fort Bend County Clerk, Laura Richards. We have all the way from Stafford, the city of Stafford. If you don't know, which you'll hear later, District A bumps up to 2 cities, and Stafford is one of them. And I'm proud to say he is a friend. He's a great leader. The city of Stafford Mayor, Cecil Willis. We have Fort Bend County Treasurer, Mr. Bill Rickard. And right next to him is a true friend, newly elected herself, Judge of the JP Court Precinct 3, Ms. Sonia Rash. And of course, this next gentleman needs no introduction, but of course, we're gonna give him one because we are sitting in the heart of Precinct 2, none other than Constable of Precinct 2, Mr. Daryl Smith. And of course, I saved the best for last. The ladies that sit next to me, we serve together, we work together. Sometimes we agree and sometimes we don't. But we have the 2 at-large City of Missouri City Councilwomen. We have Lynn Clauser, Miss Councilwoman Lynn Clauser, at-large position number 2. And we have at-large position number 1, newly elected Miss Sonia Brown Marshall. And then, of course, walking up with his very fine self, our new Mayor Pro Tem of the City of Missouri City and District D Council Member, Mr. Floyd Emery. Thank you, everyone, for accommodating this. It's important to me that special people are recognized. I want to say thank you to all the HOA presidents and board members that are here tonight. Thank you for what you do in your communities. Thank you to the pastors, Pastor Dennis Young and Pastor Albert Tibbs that were here earlier that were recognized by my pastor. We're going to get right into what we're going to be talking about tonight because you're going to hear from quite a few people, if I can get my iPad. There we go. I know y'all are wondering who are these lovely people sitting over there to my right. Well, they are the women in history who are running our city from behind closed doors. Right here to my right, our city secretary, Miss Crystal Roan. You're gonna hear from her in a little bit. On the other side, we have our city attorney, Miss E. Joyce. And then, of course, sitting right there in the middle, holding it down, our new city manager, Miss Angel Jones. So District A is a very unique district. It's comprised of 19,683 residents, having the highest population in residency throughout the other districts. It's 50% Black, 31% Hispanic, 9% white, 7% Asian, 3% Indian, and other races. We are extremely diverse. District A is historical. We have many of the greatest amenities right here in District A, like a Venezuela restaurant right across the street called Latin Delights, a Southern cuisine and Cajun restaurant like Fleur Delicious right across the street, and a Jamaican restaurant right here in District A called Gracie's, all located right there on Texas Parkway. In District A, we have City Hall. Now, what is that about? We have the only Veterans Memorial right here in District A. We have the only library, Missouri City Library, right here in District A. We have two community centers, both in District A, Missouri City Community Center, which we're sitting in today, and the historical former Missouri City Junior High School right down the street, Landmark Community Center. All in District A, we have schools, Marshall High School, Missouri City Middle School. We have Glover Elementary, Armstrong Elementary, and Quail Valley Elementary Schools in District A. We have Precinct 2 offices in District A. Our Commissioner Grady Prestige, our Constable Daryl Smith, and our Justice of the Peace, Judge Roderick Garner, all in District A. We have the only Black-owned Unity National Bank right here in District A. We have the only brewery in District A, Texas Leaguers Brewery. And we also have the only bubble tea wholesale supplier, Finale Drinks, in District A. We have the largest sports complex of 30,000 square feet right down the street called Alpha Land, right here in District A on South Gessner. And of course, we have our own fire station. We have the only outdoor pickleball court. Where are my pickleball people at? I see y'all out there. We're the only district that is connected to two counties, Fort Bend and Harris County. And then, of course, we're the only district that's connected to two other cities, the city of Houston and the city of Stafford, which means I have always got to work with my sister cities. And of course, to close it off, we're the only district that has 3 Dollar Generals. How about that? You know, when working and serving in this capacity, it requires a lot. I've attended city council meetings, special meetings over the last 15 months. I've only missed one council meeting, and that's because I was ill the very first meeting after getting elected. I've attended over 600 meetings, city events, ribbon cuttings, resident concern meetings, HOAs, and other meetings necessary to attend and combined as related to District A. And I'm here to tell you to focus on what we're doing in District A. You're gonna hear from these directors and they're gonna tell you about some great things that are happening in District A because we're here to change the narrative. We're here to make sure that you understand that District A is not a forgotten district, but it is the district that everybody's gonna wanna move into, live, work, play, and spend their money. We're on the rise for economic growth, development. We're fixing problems in streets and sidewalks and putting dogs back in the kennels. We're doing it all over here in District A. And I want you to know that you have a servant leader and you have servants on this dais that sit over there at City Hall that are here to work with you and work for you. And I'm here for you, not only as your council member, but as your neighbor. I'm here to serve you, listen to you, and participate with you in every aspect. I even rescued a cat out of one of the neighboring districts' house one time. You know, I'm here to serve you. That's not what our job is, but our job is to make sure that you feel like you are getting the quality of life out of your home, out of your community, and out of your District A. So as I close with my remarks, I'm gonna turn the mic back over to Ms. Ramona. I wanted to share some highlights, welcome you to the First District A Town Hall right here in District A so that you know who I am, what I represent, and what we're gonna continue to do. You'll hear from me a little bit more later on, but I'm gonna bring Ms. Ramona back up so that she can get right into the meat and the potatoes of why we're here today. And make sure that if you do have to leave early, we have a little something in the back for you, a little token of appreciation as you guys leave, so don't leave just yet.
So now we're going to move on to our new city manager, Ms. Angel Jones. We would like to bring you up to talk about your council management form of government. Let's give her a hand, please.
Good evening, everyone. So, of course, I have the pleasure of explaining how government structure works. What an exciting topic. You're going to hear about parks and upgraded streets and everything, and I get to talk about the structure. So, just by a show of hands, I'm curious to know the audience understanding of the government structure. There are several types of government structure, but I put the two primary ones on the screen. So which one, by show of hands, do you think Missouri City is? Is it a strong mayor? Show of hands. Okay, I see one hand. Now, is it a council manager form of government? There we go. Okay, so I've got an informed audience because I wouldn't be here if it was a strong mayor. So thank you, Missouri City, for that. So some of the benefits of a council manager form of government are it combines the political leadership of the elected officials and then the managerial experience of the city manager. Now, city council has the power to establish policy, and then it's the city manager's responsibility to implement the policy and to do so in an equitable manner. And so, of course, this council manager structure has become the most popular in the United States. Now, it's become popular because guess why? It allows for the most citizen input into decision making, and that's done through boards, commissions, et cetera. So with that, I'm gonna move on to specifically what I do. And it's a lot. So let me try to explain. I serve as the Chief Executive Officer, and I provide oversight over all municipal operations. My primary task is to develop and prepare a balanced budget. And that balanced budget should have feedback from the residents, stakeholders, and everyone involved in city business. Now, although not directly, I'm also responsible for all the hiring, firing, promotions, et cetera, of city staff. Now, I also make policy recommendations to city council, but it's up to council to finalize those policies. Once finalized, it's up to the city manager and staff to implement. Now, the one thing that I need to make sure of in every city is to ensure that we're being responsive to our residents and that we're doing so in a timely and equitable manner. And I cannot emphasize that enough. It is not the vocal minority that we respond to. It is the breadth and depth of every city, and specifically this city. And while I'm sitting here as the head, I cannot do this alone. So I want to recognize staff because you have a great staff here in Missouri City. And every staff person, if you will stand up, because this staff is committed, it is responsive, and they are diligent in trying to get the work done with a shortage of staff and a pay scale that we need to adjust. So with that, every staff member, please stand up and be recognized. I applaud each of you, and it is my due diligence to ensure that I give you the recognition and the value that you deserve, and that's through your assignments, that's through your pay, and that's ensuring that we can have a high-performing team, and we work together with each of you to make things happen. So as we say here, together we excel. Thank you so very much. I will be followed by our beautiful city attorney, Miss, as I just forgot her name, no, Miss E. Joyce Imanu.
Good evening, District A. My name is Joyce Iyamu. I'm actually a product of District A. I am the city's attorney. I will just go over for you what my roles and duties are as city attorney, as well as some of the legal division's accomplishments in fiscal year 2022. The city attorney, well, the city manager started with a question. Let me ask this question of you all. How many people think that the city attorney can provide you as a resident with legal advice? If you think so, raise your hand. Okay. Well, it looks like a majority of you understand that a city attorney actually provides advice to the city itself, to the organization, the entity, and not the residents. So my primary role as city attorney is to provide legal advice to the city council, to the directors, to the employees, in order to provide you all with services. So the city attorney's office also reviews documents. We submit objections to the chagrin of my team members. We have objections on certain documents because of legal issues that come up. We work on a variety of projects. It's actually very, in my opinion, exciting and interesting because every day in the city attorney's office is different. This morning, I started the day off at a wastewater treatment plant. And tonight I'm here with you all. So literally every day is different. Some of our fiscal year 2022 accomplishments include working through the redistricting process. I see some of you who were actually involved in that process who submitted comments and came out. We also worked on assisting the city with civil service, and we also assisted the city with acquiring land in District A off of Hampton Court, I believe it was, or Hampton Circle. So we, again, work on a variety of projects. We have about 4 attorneys on staff at this time. We are hiring, so we're looking for another full-time attorney if you all know anyone. But in general, that's a lot of what we do. So we do a little bit of everything. We provide a lot of recommendations, and we try to help the team, the city team, both council as well as staff, facilitate processes and projects to provide services to you all. So thank you for being here tonight, and I will turn it over to Crystal Roan. Thanks.
I like the younger picture of myself. Stay young forever. Good evening, everyone. My name is Crystal Roan, and I'm the City Secretary for the City of Missouri City. I've been City Secretary since February of 2022. How many of you will wake up or think about, one day I want to be a City Secretary? Nah? Nobody? Me neither. So really, my path to become a city secretary took me through different departments and different cities. When I came to the city secretary's office, I absolutely fell in love with the role of the city secretary. I love the law. I love research. I love working with people and citizens. And I absolutely love the election process. So every day for me, coming into work is a day of joy that I get to do this and I get to serve the Missouri City community. So what is the role of the city secretary? Basically, the city secretary is one of the links between the city council and the community. I am responsible for, or me and my team are responsible for records management, which includes the history of the cities, the ordinances, the resolutions, photos, all of that to make sure that everything is kept appropriately for future generations. In addition to that, I am responsible for public information. Which is one of the areas that I really like working in, because that is the freedom for you all to request records from the city. And we go through a tedious process to make sure that we provide within the bounds of the law the records and information that you ask for. I am also responsible for the boards and commissions. Boards and commissions is very important to our organization. I encourage everyone, if you have not applied or have never served on one of our boards and commissions, that you seriously consider giving some of your time back to the community. It's very important to our organization, to your community, my community, and our city council in receiving that support from the citizenry. In addition, I am responsible for, again, like I said, the election process. As you know, as the years go on and on and on, the election process becomes more and more tedious. If you are not a registered voter in the city that you live in Missouri City, I encourage you, please register to vote. If you do not vote, I encourage you to vote. This is a right that so many people have fought for, and some people still in some countries do not have that right. So if you can get out there and vote. If you don't like any of the candidates, that's okay. Go for the lesser of two evils. But get out there and vote. So another one of the areas, which is how can you serve your community? We have various volunteer opportunities through Parks and Recreation, through boards and commissions. We have lots of areas in my department alone where we are in the process of scanning in and restoring some of the records that we currently do not have into our city repository. So if you are looking for something to do and you want to get out of the house, you can call me and I'll put you to work. So I want to bring up one point for you all. The city council has made a change to the policies and procedures of the council. And one of the most important things is that the city council meetings will now start at 6:30 p.m. And that will become effective on April the 3rd. So if you plan on attending our council meetings, we welcome you all to attend. It is your right to be there. They are open meetings. If you have nothing to do, there's nothing on Netflix or Hulu in the evening time, watch a city council meeting. See where your tax dollars are going. See what issues the city is facing. Again, come to the council meetings, 6:30 p.m., first and third Monday of each month. And we do have special meetings as well. I want to also mention to you all that about my team. I sort of started off with that in the beginning. I want to introduce my Deputy City Secretary, Boris. Jarrell has been with me for almost a year, and he has made all the difference in my world here in Missouri City. He is solid. He is very responsive. If you need anything, if I'm not available, Jarrell will be able to help you. Then we have the lovely Miss Ramona Smith, Community Engagement Coordinator, who is responsible for the homeowners associations and the conduit between the city and the associations. And Ramona has been with us about 3 months now and has been a wonderful hire in addition to the city. As you see, she is high energy and she keeps me young and keeps me going. Then we have Tina Brock, who is not here tonight, but she is the office manager in the city secretary's office. We also have Terry Vinson, who is the records analyst, who is responsible for records management and processing those wonderful public information requests. And then we have the voice of the city, Akeem Cummings. Akeem has been with us for almost a year. He is the receptionist that answers the phone when you call into City Hall. So I thank you all for being here tonight. Thank you, council member, for holding this event. It's very important that you all came out tonight and learned about the community that you live in and the people that serve you. Thank you.
Next up, we will have our Director of Economic Development, Mr. Herman Rodriguez. Please, let's give him some love as he approaches the podium.
Rodriguez, there we go. There we go. So what does economic development do? Well, I had a bachelor party and my fraternity brothers were like, what do you do? What is economic development? Economic development is, we have a lot of growth. That's why I put this slide here. If you look at these little symbols, those are logos. And you're gonna see a lot of these logos towards the bottom because they represent, all the logos are on Highway 6. So my job is to put more logos up in District A. So to focus where they're not coming. So that's what economic development does. Where we don't see economic growth, we are there to look and figure out how to get the economic growth there. But I will tell you what, there is a lot of economics going on in District A because you guys literally lead the city in job growth, 100%. Park 890 is right off the Beltway and completed their construction project. City Park Logistics is still growing. They literally, we met with them a few weeks ago. They're looking at adding another $1 million, right, 1 million square feet right off the Beltway. Sungri Solar just signed up. They're coming in with a 50,000 square foot warehouse. 2020 exhibits. I don't know if you see them on the north side of the Houston Beltway. Well, they're moving from the city of Houston to Missouri City and coming on over to our side. So that's more tax dollars for us. And they're doing a 56,970 square foot facility at EQ Executor. If you guys are familiar with Pepsi, PepsiCo distribution is also coming in right there at the Beltway. Now, there's also Red Bull with 52,000 square foot distribution center, CenterPoint Energy, 177,000 square foot center. We've got, of course, like she mentioned, Latin Delight, Caribbean Foods, and Fanal Drinks. When I talk about all this square footage, I know you guys think trucks, but I know that we have partnered to create roads for these trucks where, trust me, Councilwoman Riley has made sure I'm aware to direct that truck traffic towards those roads as best as I can. But what we haven't done is try to create partnership with all these jobs to create more restaurants up on the north side. So I've been trying to make buddies with all these distributors. I'm having a job fair for them on May 11th. I'm trying to partner with them so that we can create some partnerships with the north side restaurants to create some business, some daytime traffic, and create some growth up on the north side. So how do we get the economic development done? I will tell you that your council, your city leaders have done a lot of things. They've armed us with the proper tools to get this done. One of the proper tools is they've created the restaurant incentive program that's right along Texas Parkway and Cartwright. And what this program does is if your restaurant is not within 5 miles of this area, generates $20,000 a year in sales tax, then they can qualify for a build-out assistance to come to Missouri City to help bring additional restaurants. We also have a facade program. This facade program is to help revitalize the aesthetics of the corridors so they look newer and they look nicer. And if you qualify on Texas Parkway and Cartwright, you can get up to $200,000 in assistance to have new landscaping, new signage, new exterior of the building, new parking lot, all types of stuff to make sure that we look competitive and we look sleeker. Retail marketing. So as I just mentioned, I don't want to say that my job is tasked to create more economic development without actually doing something about it. The first thing I said was we need to create retail strategies for Texas Parkway and Cartwright. I don't want a Missouri City retail strategy. I want 3 separate strategies, one for Texas Parkway, one for Cartwright, focusing on the corridors so that we don't ignore that, because to me, Highway 6 is growing all on its own and it doesn't need help. Contact us at ecodevmissouricitytexas.gov. We're trying to make it easy for the public to communicate with us, so you don't have to remember our names, even though my name is Herman Rodriguez. All you gotta remember is EcoDev. And so if you have any business that needs assistance in any way, I don't care if it's with permitting, I don't care if it's with asking questions about labor forces or job fairs, remember EcoDev, MissouriCityTX.gov. And just want to mention again that District A is a driving force for commerce in Missouri City.
Good evening. I'm here to talk about your favorite topics. Let's get to the basics. sidewalks, streets, and infrastructure. I heard that the theme of today's town hall meeting is moving the mountains. Let me tell you that. We're moving mountains in District A when it comes to infrastructure. You'll just see that. So just stay tuned and be upbeat on that. So number one, I know that District A people love digital marquee signs. Do you all know what I'm talking about, digital marquee signs? Yesterday at the council meeting, we awarded contract for 3 digital marquee signs. They're going one on Gessner, one at the entrance of Fawn Meadow, and one at the entrance of Gregory. So you're getting those 3 digital marquee signs. Next slide, I have a little exhibit. It should be done by August of this year. The second one, you all voted for the bond programs. You're wondering, where is my projects in District A? By far, the biggest share of street reconstruction projects this year is coming in District A. $4.2 million worth of projects. The red line that you see behind me along Gregory and McLean, those local streets are going to be constructed. Question is when? The funding is coming in April. We are plans to come to council in April to award a design contract. You should see construction end of this year, getting through next year. So street reconstruction projects are coming. Now this is streets that have fully, we have a rating for all the streets that are needing full reconstruction. That means we're going to tear down the whole street and rebuild the streets. We do have a street and sidewalk rehabilitation program. This year alone, till end of February, in District A, we spent $500,000 on street repairs. This is streets that have still life. We're doing what we call panel replacement. There is still about $1 million+ backlog of street repairs, which is yet to come, but we're working on that. As far as sidewalks, we have spent about $70,000 this year on sidewalk repairs. We have about $250,000 left in sidewalk repairs or pending sidewalk repairs in District A. Fortunately, council awarded us the funding that's needed to cover all the backlogs. And believe me, any and all sidewalks on our work order list in District A will be done this year. So if you have a sidewalk, a street repair request, obviously you can go to the Public Works website and request it, or just easy, Ramona, send her that and she will get it to me. One of the things that's been talked about is the new parkland that the city acquired. Obviously, we do not have the funding for the park, but it was acquired and we developed a conceptual plan. The plan considered the factor that there is cut-through traffic on East Hampton Circle, going west to McLean and going north to Cathy Avenue. So the concept that you see there is to do a road closure. The road closure is for heavy truck traffic, but it will provide some kind of access to emergency response vehicles, that's police and fire. We do have a concept, but again, as funding becomes available, we'll design it and construct it. So when this is going to happen? Probably later part of this year. One important thing, I know drainage is important in District A. I hear calls. I've been here with the city for 6 years, serving as your city engineer and director of public works. I've seen enough rain events. I've seen enough complaints. The first thing I hear every time is McLean and Gregory floods, do something. That something is coming. We got CDBG federal funding of $5 million. 2 projects have been carved. In fact, there is a town hall meeting tomorrow for those of you who complain or request about drainage projects. I expect you to show up tomorrow at 6 p.m. at the City Hall in support of those projects. Those 2 projects, specifically one we're talking about Gregory and McLean and that surrounding streets where we'll be doing some additional storm drain improvements to alleviate the street ponding, more so during the frequent rain events. The second project is along Pine Meadow and Cravens. And if you have not noticed it, if you're leaving here, just keep your concentration on the road, but to your right, you see a ditch, which is Cangelosi Ditch. That has been widened to take more drainage coming from District 8. So that is one of the projects that's been done. So as far as infrastructure, we are moving mountains in District 8. Now, Ramona did say that I will get to speak for 5 minutes, 5 bullet points in one slide. She just gave me the ability to put another slide here. This is way too busy. This is showing the locations where we have done street repairs, where we have done sidewalk repairs, and where it's pending, and the location of your favorite marquee signs. With that, I will conclude. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shashi. Now we will have our Director of Parks and Recreation, Mr. Jason Mangum.
I'm glad my wife's not here. She told me I had to. It's possible. Let's talk about Parks and Recreation. We'll start with a quick quiz. Of the city's 20 or so developed parks, how many of them are in District A? 1, 2. So we have 10 parks in District A. That means half the parks, half the developed parks right now in the city are located in District A. So District A is truly blessed with parks and public spaces. So we have Bicentennial Park. Does everyone know that's at? On 5th Street and Adams. Buffalo Run Park. Buffalo Run. Gamble Park. In Fondren Park. We have Hunters Glen Park in Hunters Glen. Hunters Trail Park. Hunters Trail. Independence Park on Court Road. McLean Park. Next home of the new outdoor pickleball courts. Woohoo! We have Quail Green West Park right here behind City Hall. And we have Quail Valley North Park off of Bermuda Dunes and Stamo Sports Park, okay? We'll just talk quickly about some of the improvements that either you've seen recently or will be seeing in the District A parks. I'm gonna talk about those. First one is the new playground at Hunters Trail Park. Anyone seen this? Anyone taking their kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews, strangers' kids, anyone? This is a great park. It was we kind of did a little sneaky like. It was completed just in 2021. We were getting it done, so COVID was still kind of hanging around. But this is a fantastic park. I see Lawrence here, the chairman of our Parks Board, and he's just like, shh, don't tell anyone. This is the best park in Missouri City. It's a great park. It's right along Hunters Trail. There's also a shady, a lot of big mature trees and some picnic areas. It's a fantastic park, but new creative playground. This is the improvements that we're going to see right here at Hunters or at Quail Green West. And Quail Green West, these improvements were actually, part of them were made possible through our budget dollars. The playground that was due to be replaced. It was at the end of its life, and we budgeted for a new playground. We installed that, and then right around the time we were installing that, we received some ARPA money, so some COVID funds. And we used some of those to improve Quail Green West Park. Now, those improvements that were done with the ARPA funds include a new restroom, not a new restroom, a restroom. We didn't have a restroom there. So there's a restroom and drinking fountains and a pavilion and this playground. And then we also did some improvements to make it ADA accessible with some concrete work and whatnot. This is really going to open up. We have a lot of people asking to use. We have some big fields there at Quail Green West. A lot of people are asking to use those fields, but they really can't for a very long period of time because there was no restrooms. Now we're fixing that. Those improvements are almost finished. We have to hook up the electrical and turn on the water and get our final inspections for those restrooms so that we can enjoy that park and enjoy those amenities. So we talked about our pickleball courts at McLean Park. If you are new to pickleball, or if we say pickleball and you're like, huh? We are going to be doing some events. Look for some banners up there to teach people how to play pickleball. it's a really accessible sport. It's a fast-growing sport because it's really accessible. People can get it. You don't have to be really athletic to get good at it. As a matter of fact, the Parks and Recreation team, we entered a team in a pickleball tournament here at the Recreation and Tennis Center, and we got whooped by a bunch of seniors. I'm talking whooped. So you just have to have a passion to be active, and it's a great sport. Sashi touched briefly on the East Hampton property. This was also the land was, we identified in our Parks Master Plan that this area, the Harris County, essentially area of Missouri City, was in dire need of more parkland. Even though we had 2 parks, it was less than 1 acre with those 2 parks combined. One of them was taken up completely by tennis courts, and the other one was taken up completely by a playground. There's really no open space or opportunities to gather. During the master plan process, when we redid our master plan, this came up in our community meetings. It became one of the priorities within the master plan, and when the ARPA funds became available, we pulled the trigger and we purchased this land for a future park. We are really excited that this is going to be parks and open space for the community and not houses or warehouses or anything else. So we're really excited, and we're going to be looking for grants. We're going to be trying to be creative on how to get this funded, and we're really excited about that. We want to thank everyone who came out to the open houses that we had to get the feedback of what you guys wanted in this park. And this is a concept. This isn't necessarily the final design, but this is what it could look like. Going to get a new playground at Buffalo Run Park as well. We have 2 playgrounds there. One of them is due to be replaced. That's in the current budget. It's actually it's on order, and we expect that to go in probably April or May. So we'll see a new playground at Buffalo Run Park. Everyone's seen the beautiful park signage around the city. We started that project about 4 or 5 years ago, and we've just been knocking off a couple at a year. This is what they look like. The ones that we have completed in District A are Bicentennial Park, Independence Park, Stamo Sports Park, and Hunters Glen Park. And these are the ones that are happening right now that we're in the process of. As you can see, these are our design plans. So this spring, you'll see McLean Park, Gamble Park, and Quail Green West Park. McLean Park will look a little bit different because, I mean, let's be honest, the sign's about the size of the entire park. So we're going to just do the pillar part, and then we think it'll look really nice. Sashi mentioned the bond project. We have several bond projects in District A. One of them is Hunters Glen Trail. That's the trail that goes around and through the Hunters Glen subdivision, not the one in the park. And we're going to convert that from DG, decomposed granite or gravel, to concrete. Stamo Sports Park will get a total makeover. And by makeover, I mean we're tearing everything down. We're going to start from the underground, meaning the drainage and those that infrastructure, and build it back up. Again, this is a concept. This is not necessarily what it will look like, but we'll have these. We're going to right-size this park. Right now, it's 8 baseball fields, and that's it. We're going to have baseball fields, we're going to have cricket, we're going to have softball fields, we're going to have playgrounds, some more outdoor pickleball courts, and so it'll be a year-round park. We want to see people at this park year-round moving forward. Bicentennial Park is a park that has reached its lifespan, with playground and some other things. We want to give this a refresh. One resident decided we couldn't get around to this one fast enough and took out the fence with their vehicle the other day. So we've already started the demolition of this park, taking down half the fence. If you live over there, you've seen it, right? Someone ran into, or there was an accident, took out part of the fence. But we will have some public information and some. We want to make this what you guys want. It's not a huge property, but we'd love to update it and make it something that y'all use. Also, just parks is not just parks, it's parks and recreation. I want you guys to see the Parks and Recreation table at the back. There's our staff. Danny, raise your hand. And Miss Toy, raise your hand. They're here to tell you about any of the programs that we have. We have hundreds and hundreds of programs every month, whether it's an exercise program or an arts and craft. We do a great archery program right here in this building. Summer camp for kids right here in this building, so your kids don't have to be bored at home, or your grandkids. We have a lot going on. Check out the website or talk to the ladies in the back tonight on your way out and take some flyers, and we'll be happy to help you out. Or if you have suggestions for classes or things that you'd like to see us offer, please provide that too. Thank you very much.
Okay, so as we come to a close, I know some of you may have even still had some questions and didn't get them answered. So everybody that signed up for questions, we made a notation next to your name, which director is going to be able to better serve you, go more into depth with your issue. Because as y'all know, as your District A city council member and a council member for the entire city that I do make decisions about, we hear you. Bruce, I hear you, okay? And I always appreciate you advocating for your community, as I do every person in this room and every person that is out here that couldn't be here. I definitely want to thank all of our city directors, our city attorney, our city secretary, our city manager, our directors that spoke today, Jason Mangum, who is now our new assistant city manager. Congratulations, Jason. Our city director for public works, Shashi Kumar, Herman, is it Rodriguez? Okay, I always call him Herman. Herman Rodriguez for our economic development department. Our finance director, Elena, would you please stand? She is also newly promoted as the new assistant city manager as well. And then, of course, we had development services back there, Jennifer Gomez. She's probably the busiest woman. Her department has like 15,000 things going on in it. So thank you so much, Jarrell, back there, our deputy city secretary. And of course, we have our fire chief, Chief Pertita, that was here. And I know I saw our chief of police back there in the back. Chief Berezin, I know Captain Hurd was here earlier, our police department, and so many others. I want to acknowledge a couple more people that walked in afterwards. You guys know her as a household name. She's a beautiful face. She's a wonderful spirit. She serves us at the county level, at the county attorney's level. She is Bridget Smith Lawson, our Fort Bend County attorney over here to my left. Thank you for being here, Bridget. And then, of course, we have in the back, we have another neighboring mayor from the mayor of Arcola, Mr. Fred Burton. Fred, wave your hand from Arcola. He over here being nosy, y'all, trying to get ideas from District A. And then, of course, as you heard earlier, we had our parks board chairperson, Mr. Lawrence Turner. Lawrence, raise your hand back there. He is working with one of our other departments to make sure that the Harris County side of that parkland that Jason spoke about earlier over there off of East Hampton is going to be a priority build for having a new parkland over there in District A, the Harris County side. We also have one of our precinct chairs, and also a commissioner of planning and zoning, Mr. Commissioner Rodney Griffin. Rodney, please stand. If you are interested in getting more involved, a part of the decision-making in various aspects, please make sure that you contact our city secretary's office. Chris, raise your hand, so that you can be a part of one of the boards, one of the committees, one of the commissions or whatnot, because that's where the real true engagement begins and the decision-makings happen. That stuff gets to them first, then it makes its way up to our desk as well. So I definitely want to thank you all for being out here tonight. I know our directors went over, we're staying here a little longer than we originally anticipated, but okay. Technology. We also had earlier the Chancellor for HCC, Dr. Madeline Barillo, who came over from, everything technology is acting crazy tonight. Don't put it down, thank you. We had Dr. Barillo here from HCC Community College, right here from the Missouri City campus. I also want to thank all of the Mayor Youth Council volunteers who came out today to help serve you, as well as the Workforce Solutions, all of our HOA board members, I mentioned them earlier. With all of our police officers, please stand or raise your hand. I want to acknowledge you because you guys are going through a very complicated situation, and I thank you so much for your dedication to the city to keep us all safe. So thank you very much. And lastly, I want to say thank you to our communications director, Mr. Andre Humphrey. Andre, please stand. Andre made sure that all of the technology, all the stuff, the printed up stuff, the flyers and the billboards, all that stuff was taken care of. So thank you so much, Andre, for that. If I missed anyone, I do apologize. Charge it to my very overloaded brain, lack of sleep, the headache, and lack of food, and any other thing. Thank you to my father, Mr. John, raise your hand, Daddy, for always coming out. And I definitely want to acknowledge the queen in the room. We have Miss Sherelle Riley in the back, who is the new U of H, Phi Beta Sigma queen. And then, of course, all of the Radical Rileys who came out to support. All 6 of my 7 kids are here tonight, and it really means a lot to me. And then, of course, I have my community son back there, Tyrone. So as we close, I want to say I have 20 months left in my term. Let's see how much we can accomplish together, District A. I thank you so much for allowing me, as your District A City Council member, to be your servant leader. I thank you so much for being the best district, being the best residents, and the best neighbors that a councilwoman could ever have served for. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Make sure y'all go and pick up a little token of my appreciation. That way you can't ever say you don't know how to get in touch with me. Long as you're pulling something out of your oven or something hot out of your microwave, you'll know how to get in touch with me. Thank y'all so much, and I appreciate y'all. Good night.